It's super squishy.
And very smelly.
Okay, I don't want to smell it. Sprinters, we wear spiked shoes. You wouldn't want to be
You
running.
accidentally kick someone, then how?
Yeah, so that's not happening.
I'm not really into sports. I'm like more person who uses brains instead.
So does it mean people who do sports don't use their brains?
Hey everyone, my name is Kyla and I'm 10 years old this year, and you're watching Don't Anyhow Ask. Today's guest is fast, strong and very cool. He's para-athlete James Ang.
Hi Kyla, thanks for having me here today. Looking forward to a fun conversation.
So James, tell us a bit more about yourself.
Sure. I'm a Team Singapore para-athlete and I'm involved in para-athletics because I have a visual impairment, which then means that I can see certain things but not other things, and that affects how I go about my sport. At the same time, I'm also a law student at the Singapore Management University and I'm currently in my final semester.
Final semester is your
Yeah,
last?
so the very last stretch. Yeah.
When did you realize you were really fast?
That's a funny question.
Is it like during school when you were training for?
I think I first realized that I had some talent and potential in the sport during secondary school. So I only first started running when I was in secondary 1. And it was just because my friends were joining the CCA, so I decided, okay, why don't I just try? Then after a while, actually, I realized that I was pretty good at it and I really enjoyed it. And I was quite
Excited.
happy and excited to go for different competitions. And somewhere around when I started university, I got the opportunity to represent Singapore through the sport of para-athletics, and well, you know, it's been a journey since then.
How do you run so well if you can't totally see the track?
That's a good question. So a lot of people actually ask me this, and I would usually respond by saying that for competition purposes, it's not too much of an issue because I can still see the lane lines, right? The white colored lane lines.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a problem when it comes to training, when there's a lot of people walking around. So I always need to make sure that either my coach or someone else is around to help me make sure that the track is clear. I think there's an element of trust, and I really need to take a leap of faith to know that the track is clear, right?
Parents can help you also, right?
It's not usually my parents, because I think I do most of the things in terms of, training and stuff, I handle on my own. So usually it'll be my coach or some of my training partners. Yeah. So it's just more of a safety thing to make sure that I don't ram somebody. Yeah.
And later you bang to them.
Yeah.
Someone
that's
the
not
track, very rough one.
Yeah, you don't really want people to fall. And also, for sprinters, we wear spiked shoes, meaning that
shoes?
imagine underneath your shoe, there are nails that are sharp. So, yeah, you wouldn't want to be
You
running.
accidentally kick someone, then how?
Yeah, so that's not happening.
How many hours do you train a day?
So a day, I would say each training session I would end up spending maybe about 2 to 3 hours. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be at the track, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday will be at the gym.
And then Sunday you rest.
Then Sunday is rest, yeah. I need it.
So next time, can you run after people in the courtroom?
I don't think that's very appropriate. I don't think there's much room for running in a courtroom. Yeah, but maybe people will know that I can run, and maybe that will make a difference in the courtroom.
What's life like with a visual impairment?
Well, that's a good question, and it doesn't really have a simple answer. I think to begin, it's just that I see things differently from other people. So I have a certain amount of vision that allows me to do certain things, but at the same time, I find some things more challenging. So for example, past a close distance, detailed objects and words, for example, are very difficult for me. So I tend to get people to help me with that. Let's say I had a paper, and it was like, here, I can see the paper and the words on the paper. And if you move it further and further away, I can still see that there's a piece of paper and there are words on the paper. But I cannot read the words. Yeah.
So how did you do your reading in law school?
That's a good question. So law school comes with a lot of different types of readings in the form of like textbooks, cases, academic commentaries in the form of articles. And so there is quite a lot of text to read. I actually make use of this assistive technology that converts all of this text into an audio form. So I can actually make use of the amount of vision that I have in conjunction with my sense of hearing, right? So actually it's quite fast.
It's very advanced.
Yeah, it's quite advanced. And if let's say I had a 60-page judgment, because I'm actually just listening to it, right? Arguably, I might even be able to read it faster than somebody else because I'm reading it in a different way. But where I would face more challenges is with quick references to things. For example, if I'm giving a presentation, I can't read off a script.
Oh.
You get what I mean? So it's like I have to just know it. I just have to remember.
To learn it.
Yeah.
Are there any misconceptions when it comes to visual impairment?
Yeah, I think the main misconception is, so they'll think it's either you can see or you cannot see. So people struggle to understand what exactly a person with visual impairment can and cannot do. And sometimes that results in people either helping too much or not helping at all. Because it's somewhere in the middle and people have that misunderstanding,
It's just
it just results in sometimes very weird situations where people aren't sure how to interact and
They don't know how to talk to you.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. So I guess one example would be, let's say I'm in public and I want to see a certain sign that is quite far away. And I just ask some random stranger like, hi, do you mind helping me? What is being said there?
Yeah.
And then they will just look at me a bit funny, like, oh, how come this guy's asking me to read it when he can read it himself? So then in the end, I might have to explain.
But
Sometimes people are just a bit awkward and they don't know how to respond, so they kind of just get stunned. But you get into these sort of weird situations sometimes. Yeah.
What is one thing that people do that makes things harder for visually impaired people?
One thing that people do very unknowingly sometimes is when they refer to this or that and they point at the thing.
Oh,
So
then you've not
yeah,
seen
because I can't see it, so I have no idea what they're talking about. And especially when it's a small thing, they don't even think about it, but actually it makes things a lot more difficult for me because I then can't follow the conversation.
You don't know the
Yeah, I
thing.
can't follow anymore. Yeah.
What's harder, studying law or training for a race?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think on a day-to-day basis, studying law is harder because you have to really think through some very difficult concepts. Whereas training maybe is
Just
naturally it's
running.
more enjoyable and I know what to do, more muscle memory involved. But I think the race day itself is harder than maybe an exam day for law school because
Need to race
there's a lot less room for error, I feel. And it's also such a short period of time. Like whatever my personal best timing is, that's the amount of time I'm running, and I can't get anything wrong in that short amount of time. There's also a lot more pressure from people watching.
What would you say to kids with disabilities who want to learn sports?
I would tell them to just try. I think certain sports will have more difficulties than others, but I think there's definitely a good support system around that will be able to help them try the sport and actually go further in that sport. So for example, we have Singapore Disability Sports Council that is the main organization that helps with this, but they also have a developmental arm of their organization, which then bring kids with disabilities and persons with disabilities into the sport. And then once they're in the sport, they also help them train, help them go about
learn
competitions.
the sport more.
Yeah. So are there any sports that you're really into?
Yeah, I'm not really into sports. I'm like more of a
Robotics, right, you're saying?
person who uses brains instead. I don't really like move around.
So does it mean people who do sports don't use their brains?
Maybe.
Oh, that's tough.
Do you have any other hobbies not related to sports?
The easiest thing to call hobby is that I do play the guitar and sing a bit. I have done a few performances for school or for some events here and there. And yeah, I guess you call it a hobby, and I do enjoy that.
Maybe you can be a singer.
On the side, maybe. Just as a small thing. I don't think
possible.
I'm not that good.
How has sports changed your life?
I think sports has given me a lot of experiences, like competing overseas and going through hard trainings to make me feel more confident. And at the same time, sports has allowed me to meet a lot of different people. So I
Like?
think, like, even just at training, the different people that you train with, it's not the same people that I will meet, for example, in school. It gives you the opportunity to travel and meet people, and I think that also improves your social skills, how you interact with others. So speaking of my training earlier, I actually brought something to show you, which is my stopwatch.
Stopwatch.
So as you know, with sprinters, everything is about time, right? So I'll just use it while doing all my repetitions to just know whether I'm on track and whether I'm improving. You just press the right button.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I never seen this stopwatch before. If I were to run, I think my timing will be very long because I run quite slow.
I think it's fine. I think everybody starts like
Yeah, I have
somewhere and you
long
just have
timing.
to keep trying, right? Yeah, I think sometimes people, they start off and
Start off
you don't know what
slow.
you're doing, but then if you keep working hard, You might get somewhere.
Thank you, James, for sharing about yourself. I have some games prepared for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go. This game is called What's in the Box?
Sounds interesting.
Okay, I'll read to you the instruction. Can James identify an object by just touch? In this game, he'll reach into a box where Kyler will place various mystery objects and guess what's inside. Okay, are you excited?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Okay, close your eyes.
Okay.
Cannot see your eyes. Okay, you can open your eyes and reach for it now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Surely this is a rubber duck.
Yeah, it's a rubber duck. Okay, I think I'm gonna put this. Okay, now you can reach your hand.
Okay, let's try this time. Oh, okay, something soft. Oh, it's
What do you think it is?
okay, it's a soft. Oh, it's an octopus.
Yep. Look.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I felt the tentacles. Right? Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
next
awesome.
one. Close your eyes again. Okay, I put the object inside already.
Okay.
Now you need to touch it.
What the heck? Yeah, it has to be a sponge. It's a sponge.
Ding ding. Yeah,
All right.
correct. It's
Yeah.
a sponge. Okay, next one. The last one.
Okay.
Close your eyes, don't peek. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Put your hand
Okay,
inside.
last one. 4 out of 4. Let's go. Ew. What the? Okay, something in a container.
Yeah,
Feels like.
but what is it?
Is it Play-Doh?
Nope. Try to squish it maybe, then you will know. I'll give you a clue. It's shiny.
It's shiny. A shiny.
Children like to play with this.
Is it the slime thing?
Correct.
Oh, yeah. I did play with this before. It's super squishy.
And very
And,
smelly.
Okay, I don't want to smell it. Yeah,
I can really smell it.
it's sticking to my head.
Your hand's gonna have the smell.
Okay, I need to wash my hands now.
Okay, good job. Let's move on to the next game.
All right.
Okay. The next game is called Legal or Illegal.
Okay.
I think it
okay.
suits you.
Okay, let's see.
Time to test James' legal knowledge. Kyler will read out some weird laws. Can James figure out if they are real or made up?
All right.
Are you ready for the
Sure.
first one?
I'm ready.
Crossing the road when the traffic light is red.
Yeah, that has to be legal.
That's very easy, huh?
Yeah, still easy. Okay, okay.
Running barefoot in public.
It is legal.
Yep. Okay, next one. Drinking water on the MRT.
That's hard, but I know you can't bring drinks. Not supposed to drink drinks, but I think water probably can, right? So it's legal.
Nope. It's illegal.
What?
You will get fined up to $500 just for drinking
dear.
water.
I think a lot of people will be in trouble.
Yep. Okay, next one. Looking too handsome.
Yeah, obviously that's legal, right?
Yeah, it's legal, not illegal. No, nobody say you cannot be too handsome. Okay, next one. Feeding pigeons under the block.
I think that's illegal.
Yep, it's illegal.
Okay.
Next one. Not flushing the public toilet.
I think I've heard somewhere that this is illegal.
So is your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay, yeah, correct.
Ah, okay.
Offenders can be fined up to $1,000.
Oh, wow.
Chopping a table with tissue paper.
Everyone does it, and I'm going to say that it is legal.
Yep, it is. Okay, you got one wrong only, right?
Yeah, I got the
Okay,
one about water
good job.
wrong.
It's
Nice,
A or A star, I don't know. Thank you, James, for coming down here and talking with me.
Thanks for having me today. It was really fun.
Yeah, I had fun too. Thank you for watching Don't Anyhow Ask. Bye. Feeding pigeons under the block.
I think that's illegal.
Yep.
Why? What did they say?
Because you cannot like feed them. Because later they cannot find their own food. They rely on people feeding them, then they
Okay.
die. If you were an animal, what would it be?
I think I would be an eagle because eagles move pretty quick.
I think I'll be an owl because owl is quite brainy. I think I'm brainy too.